Hi traders, it's Saturday, 17th March 2018. This is Adetunji Adesina, Chief Technical Strategist for Trendonomics Partners Limited. Today I will be taking a look at the activities on the floor of the Nigerian stock market, do a trend analysis of the broad all-share index, and give my technical expectation and outlook for the Nigerian stock market. In the course of the trading week, we witnessed some companies released their 2017 financial year end results. With market participants reacting to these results. We saw GT Bank came out with a proposed dividend of 2 naira 40 kobo. Zenith Bank proposed to our investors 2 naira 45 kobo. While Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC offered a proposed dividend of 50 kobo. NASCON released a result offering investors a proposed dividend of 1 naira 50 kobo. Interestingly, the all-share index took a dive to the downside as investors were pessimistic on most stocks traded on the floor of the stock exchange. In the week under review, we saw the broad all-share index declined by 2.85% to close the week at 41,935.93, while market capitalization also declined by 3.26% to stand at 15.002 trillion naira as at the end of the trading day 16th March 2018. Looking at other major sectoral indices, we saw most sectoral indices declined in the week under review, with the exception of the insurance sector, which gained marginally by 0.25%. In the traded week, 25 stocks advanced, while 60 stocks declined, and we had 86 that were unchanged, as against previous weeks of 45 stocks that advanced, 40 that declined, and 87 that were unchanged. Turnover analysis showed that 2.44 billion units of shares were traded, valued at 36.665 billion naira in 26,712 deals, as against the preceding week of 3.079 billion shares, valued at 39.990 billion naira in 23,086 deals. This represents a decline of 20.63% and 83.15% in both turnover and value respectively. Looking at the top 5 gainers and top 5 losers. On the gainers side, we had Associated Boss Company PLC gained 14.29% in its share market value to close the week at 48 kobo. Also, we had John Holt also had an appreciation in market value with 12.50% in the week under review. Name Insurance added 11.57% to close the week at 2 naira 70 kobo. Curtis also gained 9.8% in the week to close at 2 naira 69 kobo. Investors also smiled with NPF Microfinance, which gained by 9.19% to close the week at 2 naira 02 kobo. Japan fell in market value, leading the losers pack by 30.93%. Fidelity Bank declined by 22.48% to close the week at 2 naira 31 kobo, followed by Unity Bank. Unity Bank declined in market share value by 21.51% in the week under review. African Prudential PLC declined by 20.20% in the week to close the week at 3 naira 99 kobo. Regency Alliance declined by 20% to end the trading week at 28 kobo. Let's take a look at the broad all-share index during a trend analysis. We would see that for 4 consecutive weeks, the Nigerian broad all-share index has been trading in a tight range of 43,000 224.7 and 42,225, seeking for direction, in search for direction. And this the week which ended 16th March 2018, so the broad share all share index closed below 42,215.60, which is a sign. At this point, also looking at the daily time frame of the all share index, we would also notice that the index has been trading on the moving average of 50 EMA 50. This implies that the investors are actually finding support at these moving averages. Also taking a look at our key momentum indicator, which shows the momentum of the trend. It shows that the momentum indicator is pointing downward after having reached over at the overbought zone, currently now trading at 68, while the ultimate indicator also is trading at 55.31. Volume, on the other hand, declined this week relative to the previous week, despite the fact that we had a decline in the all share index. The decline in the all share index was predominantly as a result of the high decline in the banking sector. We saw the banking share decline by 8.4%, and this largely drove the decline that we saw in the all share index. So the banking sector brought the all share index down, and we saw most uh, stocks traded in this sector fell in market value over the week. Also, from a technical perspective, we will notice that I drew a negative divergence. We saw a negative divergence when the banking stocks was forming higher high and a lower low. And in our previous article and analysis, we had stated earlier on some weeks back that it's best to be off banking stocks based on what is seen on technical perspective, and this is what is actually playing out both on a weekly and a daily time frame. Looking at daily time frame of the banking sector, we are seeing the sector strongly trading below support, now approaching a key resistance, now expected to turn support at 501.63. So another interesting sector to also look out for is the consumer goods. This consumer goods sector has been trading in a range, and most stocks traded in this sector are seeing a range bound movement in their price movement. The industrial goods also has also to be trading within the range bound. So we have not really seen much trading activity, much volatile activity in trend in stocks traded in this sector. The insurance sector also has been also trading in a range. We could also see the oil and gas sector now declining, pulling back from what we had in the what we had in the previous week. So we saw the oil and gas sector actually decline after having reached the high of 37,378 point. Now presently has pulled back to retest a support expected to be a resistance. So going forward, what do we expect in the market? With the formation that we are seeing from a technical perspective in the market, we expect investors' pessimism to continue into the coming trading week, and which will likely be seen from the banking sector. So we expect some of the banking stocks to decline in market value, and which in effect will affect the broader share index. So going forward, we expect a decline in the coming week to test the support now expected to be resistant at 39,429.1. But on the other hand, if the index trades back above 43,224.7, then we expect a sharp rise in most stocks traded on the floor of the exchange. Thank you and happy trading week. To join our online investment intelligence community, send join stocks to +234 909 21 33294.